She said offended you. You're a man, okay? You're Hispanic, you're Cuban, you have pride, okay? Don't sit here and question my manhood, is what you're saying here. Am I right?
That's what you think.
I'm asking, am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, okay, so what happened then? So what happened with the argument?
Man. That's not what happened.
No?
To be honest, man, I really don't know what happened. Listen, I was so...
Fidel, come on, don't, listen, you remember here, and you remember here,
Yeah,
but you conveniently don't remember the most important part. You conveniently don't remember what happened in the closet, what happened in the bathroom, okay? Or what happened in between the two. She had her guts ripped out in the closet. And you're going to sit here and tell us, come on, you don't remember what the argument was about? Fidel, we both said it. I don't think you're a monster. I don't think you intended to do what you did, okay? But ultimately you did it.
I did it.
I know that, and I know you know that. To be a man about it, explain why. What set you off? What got you so angry? You were enraged. Why? Just explain why, and you won't know. You're a human, okay? You're a human being. You're flesh and blood, just like he and I. And you snapped and things went bad. Okay? Just explain that. That's all we're asking you to do is explain why. What happened? What started it?
We were like drinking. We were drinking, we get drunk. I don't even know, not even when I open the hose, when I break the window. I don't even remember when I did that. I don't know what was the argument. I know something happened, but I really don't know, man. I mean, like...
Fidel, you ripped her insides out of her through her vagina.
I didn't mean to do that, man.
I understand that, but you did it. What pissed you off to the point where you did that? Was she fucking somebody else?
No,
Did she tell you she wanted to leave you? I mean, I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know. Did she tell you she was having sex with her ex-husband again?
No. About believe me or something. Maybe she mentioned something about go to Peru. No, but that was she not yesterday. She mentioned it like one day ago, like 2 days ago.
Okay.
Going to Peru and live with her mother because she was tired of whatever this country. I don't know why she was like that.
You guys weren't getting along?
Huh?
You guys weren't getting along?
Oh yes, we do. You want me to go with her, but it's I cannot leave my kids here and my job and go to somewhere else and not to make any money.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be one of the reasons. But to be honest with you guys, I really don't remember.
Did you talk about that last night?
I don't know, man. I was drunk.
No,
She was drunk.
in your house before all this started going on. Did you start talking about that? When you sat down at your little makeshift boxes, cutting up lines, having...
No, the only thing we talk about was one of her aunts don't like her ex-husband. That's the only thing we talk, like,
How did that conversation come about? You're having a nice night with your girl, having drinks,
Yeah,
and you start talking about her cousins and her ex-husband?
No, because, we were just talking about her family or my family and things like that, and, we're just talking about the family, and whatever is good, whatever is not good, whatever is piece of shit, whatever is not, things like that. If I really remember what's going on, what was the argument, I'll tell you, man. I'll really tell you. Anyway.
Listen, when you discovered that she wasn't breathing and you were going to call 911, what was going through your mind at that time?
What was going through my mind? Well, she was dying.
Okay. And what do you think was going to happen?
Like what?
If she died, what did you think was going to happen?
If she died?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm gonna think? I'm there. I'm here. I cooperate with anything has to be done. I'm not run away. I'm not.
Yeah, I know you didn't. You didn't run. You're here. You're talking to us. You've.
And I know it's whatever happened.
And this is our thing. This is why we're doing what we're doing, to try to get some explanation or reasoning. Because when somebody outside, when everybody that's going to look at this situation and look at what you did, if there's no reason for what you did, that's worse than if there's, at least you had some reason for what you did. I mean, if they said, you know what, he doesn't know why he did it, he just took her life and put her out of her misery.
There's no.
But if you at least have some kind of reason, some kind of justification, some kind of explanation of why you did what you did, let me tell you, man, not only for you, but for everybody else looking at this, at least have some kind of closure, some kind of like, you know.
I wish I can have something right now to tell you.
And to be honest with you, all the things that he's been giving you, saying like, you know, relationship problems or sex problems or wants to leave you, go to Peru. Okay, I would understand. Maybe that gave you justification. You started drinking, you weren't thinking straight, you got enraged, you got pissed off, and you took it out on her. I mean, but by you saying...
That's an explanation. One of those is an explanation.
By saying, we were drinking, then I got enraged and took it out on her, but I don't know why. That shows that you're cold-hearted, man.
You look like an animal. You look like an animal in that sense.
And I know that's not the case.
See, you got to remember something, too. When we do an investigation like this, we're talking to neighbors, we're knocking out... You live in an apartment complex, okay? Your neighbors are right there. The walls are thin, okay? So they hear what sounds like construction going on in the apartment next door because you're breaking shit for hours. And they hear a male voice screaming for hours. But they don't hear any female voice.
Because I was trying.
For hours before 911 was called.
Before 911 was called?
Yes.
Around 1 o'clock in the morning.
911 was called sometime around 3:30. Somewhere rough there.
Saying what?
I don't know what you were saying. I have no idea.
I remember when I screamed, it was when I know that she wasn't breathing. It's when I started screaming.
Okay, but... Okay.
That's where I screamed.
But you didn't call 911 right away.
Of course I did call 911. I called 911 when she wasn't breathing. I called 911 right away, desperate. You know?
2 hours prior to you call 911, you were yelling and screaming and breaking things in the house.
A breaking thing that's
right.
true.
And you're yelling and screaming, but yet there's no female voice yelling and screaming. Do you understand what we're trying to say? Maria wasn't yelling and screaming because Maria couldn't scream. Because either A, she was passed out, or she was dead already.
No, she wasn't dead, man. She was like this when I called 911.
So for 2 hours, roughly 2.5 hours, what were you doing besides breaking up your apartment? I think you were breaking up the apartment because you realized that for 2.5 hours she was dead. And you panicked. Panicked when you realized it. Started breaking shit, not knowing what to do.
You took it too far.
Took it too far. Okay? This is what I think. And then eventually you call 911. We want you to just explain to us why. Okay? Why? That's what we're trying to explain to you. That without the why this happened, without the explanation as to what happened, it looks like you're some cold-blooded, sadistic killer. Like you just...
I'm not.
I know that. I know that. So does he. And I mean that when I say that. I know you're not a sadistic killer. Okay? But something set you off. Something made you so angry that this happened. Okay? Ripping out your girlfriend's insides physically and then being on the floor in the closet is not rough sex. We've gotten past that part. Okay? What caused you to become so violent?
Alcohol.
And what?
And what? Not just the alcohol. What else?
Something else, man. I wasn't under my mind. The alcohol was over me.
Yeah, but you already told us several times you can handle your alcohol and have sex when you have alcohol.
Yeah. But I told you that last night we both get really, really, really drunk.
And I believe that. But at some point in time, you were up, you were in a rage, you were destroying the apartment for at least an hour and a half to 2 hours prior to call 911. It's not you're laying on a couch passed out drunk. You're up. Things are going on. So the whole that you were so drunk that you don't know what was going on is, I don't believe. It's because, you know what, if you're so drunk and not knowing what's going on, you're laying on the ground sleeping.
There's not explanation for me to kill my girl, man.
Is there?
I didn't mean to kill her.
Understand?
We understand
that. We're not saying that you did.
Did you hear what he just said? Did you hear what he just said?
What?
Listen.
We understand that you didn't mean to kill your girl. But whatever came over you, the rage that came over you, caused you to do actions that caused her death. Unfortunately, it's an accident. It caused whatever happened to her was you had no control over. I mean, you were in a rage, you were drinking, things went on, and she ended up losing her life for that. We're not saying that you intended to kill her. We're not saying that you went in there last night, went to Chili's, got some tequila, and said, you know what, tonight I'm going to kill her. But one thing led to the other, and it got worse. You know, you ended up doing what you did.
And you're not going to get me to believe that you guys have a very normal, very tame sex life, where the kinkiest or craziest thing you've done is a 69.
No, that's why.
Right. And then all of a sudden,
You're
she
sticking
wants
with
you
it.
to shove a beer bottle inside of her pussy,
That's what you was telling me, man.
and she wants you to shove your fist in there, your hand in there.
That's what you was telling
Fidel,
me.
come on. I don't believe that. Okay, I just don't believe that. Because you know what? I'm older than you. He's older than you.
Mm-hmm.
We're both men. Okay, as are you. These things are gradual. Okay, you take steps. Oh, we do a little bit of this. You maybe try this. Try some of this. I don't like that, so we won't do that anymore. Let's try this. Let's try this. There's no way. Before last night, had you ever put anything else inside of her besides your?
No.
No. Your penis and what else? Maybe a couple fingers.
Not even finger.
So you expect us to believe that from just your penis to a beer bottle and then your fist? No way. Fidel, listen. Now you're making yourself out to sound, because it just doesn't make sense. And anyone that hears that is going to go, no way. You don't go from a penis to a beer bottle to your whole fist and up to your elbow. That just doesn't happen.
Without some type of reason.
Exactly. And that happened because you got so angry, okay? And that's what we want you to explain to us. Paint the picture for us of what happened so you look like a human being that just snapped, okay? Instead of some sadistic monster who said, you know what? Fuck this bitch, I'm just going to rip her guts out. I don't think you're that person. Neither does he. But you have to explain to us so we can explain to other people. Listen, he didn't mean to do this. He really didn't. They got into an argument, they got into a fight, and you know, with the alcohol, one thing happened, you know, but you have to explain that to us.
Okay, the crime scene, they shake the, she had something with the tequila caused something to her too.
The tequila? Well,
Yeah.
it caused her to be intoxicated. Absolutely.
Intoxicated and something to, because she wasn't breathing.
She wasn't breathing. I understand that. She wasn't breathing because she was bleeding. She bled out.
Because of what was ripped out from her insides.
That's why she wasn't breathing.
I don't know, man. She go out of my hands. Out of my hands.
Fidel, listen. Look at
Now,
me.
the only thing I'm thinking is, her's dead. My kids are never gonna see them again. That's everything I think right now, man.
But-
my job,
but
I
you-
was fighting for the job forever.
Listen to me.
Everything is going to hell right now.
Listen. If you explain to us, give us the reason, okay, of why this happened. You're human, okay? As am I, as is he. Make yourself out to be the human being that you are. By doing that, you have to give an explanation as to why this happened. Do you understand that when I say that? You have to explain why these things happen, to explain why Maria's dead. Listen, I'd like to be able to stand up on your behalf and say, listen, he was extremely remorseful. He had no intentions for this to happen. Okay? He didn't mean to do this. But unfortunately, this is why it happened. He had too much to drink, and he had an argument and between that and the drinking and everything else, X, Y, and Z, whatever it may have been. But you have to explain that so we can explain it to other people, to make you, he's human. It happens. Okay? You didn't intend to kill her.
Of course not.
Right. So explain to us what took place that led up to it. You know.